What it is, fellow dead people from the MCU, it is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by... Oh, there he is. But I got this neat stone. I'm kidding. It's the boy.
He doesn't like me enough for that. Oh.
We're talking about Black Widow. I'm sorry, Black Window.
Before we started recording, he just casually goes, all right, time for Black Window. And I said, did you just fucking call it Black Window like Black Mirror?
Yeah, except you can see through it.
Motherfucker.
I don't know why he thinks it's funny, but I'll take it.
It's really funny, fuck you.
I know, I don't get it. I don't get my own joke. But it hit with you, and that works for me. Speaking of working for me, if you guys want to go to my Patreon and give me a little bit of that sweet mun, I can get you more content.
He could work for you.
I could work for you. It would be like a non-contracted thing.
Yeah, but like... In the same way that, like, the government works for you because you pay taxes.
In the same way as, like, sometimes you might give Domino's some money to deliver you a pizza and you expect it within, like, I don't know, the hour. Seems reasonable, but then, like...
Especially if they're, like, less than 3 miles from your house.
A couple of hours later, you're like, hey, Domino's, where my fucking pizza is at? And they're like, you know, we'll get it to you when it gets there.
He's a little bitter about that.
Anyway, yeah, I got books you can buy. They're in the description. A lot of shit in the description. Just click the shit you find down there until magic happens and money enters my bank account. 5th Colt Regan book is a good place to jump onto the Colt Regan series. I am working on the 6th.
It's good. I get it in advance. Haha.
He's a beta reader.
Yep.
I'm the alpha reader.
I mean, technically, yes. The look on your face. The genuine, well, all right. So, Black Widow.
She dies.
Yeah, in Endgame.
Yes, that's true. Spoilers.
Not in this movie.
No.
You know, in Endgame. Boy, how did this movie happen? I have nothing against it. This was fine. This was a romp. This was a perfectly serviceable action movie.
Did that motherfucker literally wait between the gap between our podcasts to start up his lawnmower?
Yes. He waited. He stopped when we stopped the last podcast, waited for us to start the next one, and literally started his lawnmower back up. It is 8 p.m. I need you to know that.
8:39. Listener, Rob.
The night mower attacks. But anyway. This was a romp. This was a good time. Boy, howdy, was this not the best MCU movie.
No, but it wasn't the worst. It was serviceable.
Yeah, this was, I would say, your Ant-Man.
But not as funny.
Your, Captain's America, like, the first Avenger.
But not as period.
I'm not going to keep going with this bit, but you can see where we're going here.
But imagine that we did, and it wasn't as much that.
I can't win. So, I do want to try and talk about the good things we liked about this movie, because there's a lot of them, actually.
There's honestly not a lot bad to say about this movie.
There's
That's
not,
the trick.
Yeah, it doesn't have many sins.
It was a little predictable. It started a little slow and a little too serious for what I was coming into this movie for. There's a thing, if you're a comics fan, you'll probably be upset about.
I was!
I had my expectations lowered. So
He measured my expectations about it without giving me spoilers, which is good, because I was only, and not actually mad.
So, spoiler-free review, you've heard it. You're still here. I assume you want spoilers. Black Widow dies!
Again, in Endgame, not in this movie.
Right.
We should be clear. But,
Well, actually, they're all widows. So, like... And some of them die.
But, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's spoilers.
There you go. But I want to say, I think the highlight of this movie, the thing I liked best was the character work. The plot was honestly kind of shit.
This is the most transparent fucking plot I've seen in a Marvel movie.
Like, the plot was honestly kind of shit. But the actors did a great job with the characters they were playing, and the characters were given fun stuff to do and fun quips to make. It really fulfilled the Marvel vibe as it regards to characters, which is what I am here for ultimately.
Yeah.
Because no, the plot was never gonna fucking matter. She's dead.
I mean, and if you let yourself be bought into the movie, there is that point at the end, where you're like, yeah, Nat saved the day, and she gets to go on now. Oh no. It's so cool how she's found this family, and oh yeah, no, that's not toasty. Fuck. What is there to say about this film that hasn't already been said? Well, this has been fun. Many things better when nerds talk about it.
So, I want to say that, like, I do want to say positive things about most of the actors who played the major characters here. Most. But special shout out to Florence, I believe, Pugh? Or Pug?
Pooge.
Or Pudge?
No, Pooge.
Or that.
Pooga.
Pugga. Florence
My last
Machine,
name looks like Chucci, yeah. So I get it. I'm sorry, Florence.
I believe it's Pugh. Special shout out to her. Best character in the fucking movie. Yelena, excellent, A+, love it. I literally have been quoting things she said in the movie for like a day since we saw the movie. Like, constantly. I want to buy a vest.
You did when we found that vest. Take to it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a fish to a vest.
It's so cool. It's got so many pockets. It can hold so much stuff you wouldn't know.
She's such a relatable character, and that's nice, really small storytelling, because as we find out over the course of the film, is that more recent widows are just chemically hoodwinked.
Yeah, they're not psychologically conditioned like Scarlett Johansson's, like Natasha was, like Nat was. They're not beaten down and brainwashed the old-fashioned way, KGB style. They get hit with mind control chemicals.
It's a little Febreze.
A little mind control Febreze, and it's done. You're mind controlled now, haha. So when they come out of it, they're not all cold and aloof and detached because of trauma like Nat is. They're pretty normal, all things considered.
I mean, they got damage.
But
they're like it's got big Gen Z TikTok humor vibes.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Florence Pugh is Gen Z Black Widow.
It's like everything is fucked, but I don't care.
She's got different trauma, but she's got her own just as much, trauma as Nat does. But instead of being a millennial and being all sad about it, she's Gen Z. She's like nothing matters with like cool sunglasses and 2 thumbs up. Maybe that's why I like that energy, because I really dig Gen Z energy in that way.
She's a fantastic character. I walked out liking her more, but really 98% of the reason I went in to see this movie was sheriff town name David Harbour
as the Red Guardian, as Alexei what does they have that listed as? Shostakov. I don't know how to pronounce that word. But he did an amazing job. They really, I mean, you knew they were gonna, but they really played into him as like a comedy secondary character. Mm-hmm. They underplayed, old super soldier as like an actual threat, which meh, but
not that much, because when it did come time for him to kick ass, he kicked ass. Like, honestly, the only time he didn't kick ass was against Tasky, and even then he still kicked some ass.
And Tasky's like the big villain of the movie. Of course, he's gonna lose to that person, but like he did a great fucking job. So.
Yeah, I would watch Sheriff Town Name's Red Guardian, Crimson Dynamo, whatever.
Where he's like hugging both his daughters. My girls, you, the youngest child assassin in history. Just, perfect.
Spectacular character. And everyone honestly did well. Dreykov was very hateable.
He's a terrible, detestable little meatball. I think, I have to assume, please look this up, because I really want to know if he usually looks like this, because I genuinely think that they might have intentionally gone with like a very topical.
Well, let's take a look. I didn't spell it right. Oh, that's MCU Wiki.
He might just be.
He
an
might
original
be
kid.
OC here. Maybe he is.
Yeah, I guess he might be.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe you're correct there.
Because that is the.
Comics. Let's try this. You guys
Yeah, no,
enjoying
Earth 199999.
Googling?
Yeah, this is why you should put it up on the big screen.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
Here's a guy. Nah, he looks like fucking. No, that's not him.
No, yeah, I think he's an OC. So yeah, this has to be. I maintain this must have been an intentional parallel. He looks eerily, to me at least, like Harvey Weinstein, which. I mean, it's a little on the nose, but yeah, hateable little meatball who does bad things to women. I'll take it.
He was believable, though. Like, that's the exact kind of... How do you make the... If I may, the very feminist-oriented themes of Captain Marvel work better? Have your villains be believable and not just some douchebag who's like, smile more.
Yeah, that. Because this is believable. This is what an old guy who's been in power too long and looks at people like things acts and looks and is like. It was super realistic.
Yeah,
and
I liked it a lot.
I love that they had Nat pull one last classic Black Widow thank you for your cooperation style manipulation scene on him. That was really good, really well done. You could tell, the audience could tell that she was playing him, but you bought that he couldn't.
Yeah, the performances were really good. Honestly, the more you've said this, the more I agree with you, that the performances carry this otherwise mediocre movie to a level where it's no longer mediocre.
Yeah, it's good, but it is on the back of the performances, not the plot.
Yes.
And not Taskmaster. I gotta get into it now.
Are you sure? Do you want to talk about the really nice pigs that were in the movie? First?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the cool pigs.
Yeah,
they were good pigs.
Good pigs.
And
one of them was also named Alexi. And one of my favorite jokes that I've ever seen in anything, we named the monkey Jack. All right, get it out of your system.
Well, I mean, I don't remember the name of, is it Elena?
Antonia.
No. The other Mama Widow. Melina, that's what it was. Milena. Rachel Weisz. She did a great job as, like,
Sure.
weird scientist lady.
Yeah.
Also, I like that her Black Widow outfit is the comics Black Widow outfit.
Yeah.
With, like, the canted belt and, like, the gold, very tall, semicircular widow thingies with, like, the loop. It was very much a comics-inspired outfit. That was her Black Widow outfit, her older one.
Yeah.
And then they put, because of a bait and switch, they put Nat into it. So you got to see Nat in the comics-inspired outfit at least once. That's cool. I like that. That's good fan service. I wanted to point that out specifically. But now it is time to talk about fucking Taskmaster. I want to get this right out front. I think this should be obvious if you've listened to the Two Nerds podcast more than once. But you might not have. This might be your first time listening to us, so I should preface. I don't give a shit what's in Taskmaster's underpants. I don't care that Taskmaster is a lady. That is not why I am upset. I'm upset because that character was not Taskmaster in anything other than Power Set. It was a good outfit, had the right colors, had the skull motif, really liked that. Really liked how they did the Power Set. Fought like Taskmaster, where you could see specific moves from other, characters in the MCU being used in the fight scenes that Taskmaster had. I'm neutral towards giving Taskmaster an origin story. I'm not amazingly fond of it, but sure, okay, fine. And it's even a good one. It's even a good one.
Honestly, yeah.
Taskmaster has a very inherent reason to dislike the Avengers, to be mad at Black Widow, and to want revenge.
And I mean, Taskmaster did fly away in a plane full of potential mercenaries at the end.
Yeah, and so we could get to a better place. But god damn it, Taskmaster's supposed to have an ego. Taskmaster's supposed to be proud and arrogant and do the fucking Chuni talking up his moves thing. He's supposed to be an anime shonen rival for everyone he fights. And also funny, but I can even take not funny. Silent, emotionless robot You already had a Winter Soldier. Stop it. You don't get two. And he's his own thing. Female Taskmaster, she could get there. MCU Taskmaster could get there. I hope she does. But
and maybe we'll see in the Hawkeye series.
Yeah, maybe we'll see in the Hawkeye series. They did the teaser for that, and that's cool. As like Hawkeye villain, that's good. That's very classic.
The comparison, here's where I think they fucked up. They advertised Taskmaster. Because nobody was mad about Batroc's Eliper.
Because he was a surprise.
Yeah, he was just a fun surprise.
It was, it's Batroc!
Yeah, and it was like, okay, whatever. Well, back to the rest of the movie. And Taskmaster does feature very heavily in this movie as a threat, so I understand why they advertised her as a villain. But, like, when you get there and there's this little bit of bait and switch, which I don't even know if that's 1,000% what they intended, other than the audience isn't going to see through our incredibly transparent plot if we maybe make them think that this is a dude.
But, like, I hope that Antonia Dreykov gets to that level, becomes Taskmaster.
Yeah, I'd like that.
As it stands, she's just somebody with Taskmaster's power set, and that made me upset.
I hope it gets there, too. I hope we get to see even more of Batroc the way he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not what I said earlier when I was discussing this movie, Captain Falcon and Winter Johnny. Gaze through the black window with me, if you will. That's about all there is to say about the film itself.
Yeah, I wanted to do that first because that's what the podcast is about.
Yeah. So if you guys want to leave a like and a comment, because doing both does actually help. It doesn't have to be anything super erudite. You can talk.
Disagree with me about Taskmaster. Maybe you liked her. Maybe she was great. Maybe I did. There was one moment I really liked. I will say there was one moment. Doesn't feel very much like the character from the comics, but for the character that was in the film, taking it on its own, I really liked the moment where she gets mind controlled, and Nat manages to beat her not by being a better fighter, because clearly she's not. That's fucking Taskmaster, but by utilizing her intelligence to like take away the mind control, and then rather than still being mad, rather than being vengeful, which she absolutely deserves to be, let's be clear, her first question was, is he gone? That's good storytelling.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot.
It is really good. And that's something they carry throughout the film as well, is that while they're mind controlled under the Febreze, they're also aware.
Yeah, they can still they still experience. They're just not in the driver's seat.
So when they come out of it, it's not like they forget everything. Even worse, they remember everything, and they have a hard time disentangling who they were from what they did.
I like that was her first question.
That's good shit.
That's a lot of quiet storytelling without that is even though it is someone saying something, that is show don't tell on a very fundamental level.
This is a really well-made, mediocre film.
I mean, honestly, they only had so much they could do. She's dead. You can't put in for a sequel. You kind of got to wrap shit up.
Sure. I'm not mad about it. I just, the more I focus on it, there's a lot of quality to this script. Quality on this script, I mean to say. But anyway, excuse me. Not only was this a glorious return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
since Spider-Man Far From Home,
but this was a glorious return to theaters.
The last time I was in a theater, I had a much worse experience. Because I was watching the last Star Wars movie, which is a bad movie. This is a good movie, so that helped.
The last 3 times I was in the theater were pretty good experiences because I watched Birds of Prey twice and Onward. But it was really nice being back. Got a little hot in there, and, reserved seating is a thing, but I feel like that's going to be a thing going forward. And so long as I take the time to order tickets in advance at home.
It's not as stressful, and it is a great way to, if you do it enough in advance, get good seats.
Yeah.
And it also lets you pick a showing that's maybe going to be less busy.
Yeah. You can kind of scout and see where people are already reserving tickets for, and let you play the game a little bit, and that's kind of nice. I don't like to have a theater that's too full because I feel like you always run into one motherfucker who thinks it's his show.
And we, having not been in a theater for a year, both separately, because we didn't, because we're grown-ups, had to stop ourselves from MST3King at each other. Because when we watch movies at home, we do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's who we are as people. But when you're in a public space, in a theater where other people are trying to watch the movie, they didn't buy their ticket to come hear your off-the-cuff improv jokes, jackass. They came here to watch the movie.
The only other version of that is when everyone is actually there for that kind of shit. I took my mom to see Blues Brothers once and on a re-release a couple of years back. And the whole theater was like singing along and like making jokes and shit. But like, it was a vibe.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, and it's so wonderful.
It's read the room.
Now that we've had an obvious cut, let's talk about the trailers we saw before I do cut this. I managed to edit it, and it sounds like fucking seamless.
And they don't know where the hell you're talking.
And they're like, "What?"
Well, before we do, was there anything in particular you wanted to highlight about being back at the theater? Like anything that was beyond just being nice to get back, and like, was there any part of the theater experience that was particularly enjoyable for you?
I mean, I probably have ADHD. So being able to watch a movie in a place where there's nothing else around me and nothing to do but watch the movie in a dark room where the movie is the biggest thing in the room and the loudest is like heaven. Yes. It's let me focus. Let me watch the fucking movie and not go, hey, there's a cat over here. I could be drawing. Oh, I could be on my computer doing stuff. What about that over there? Oh, look at the dingly light. I can see they around my TV. This is not the largest thing in the room or the loudest. A man is mowing the lawn outside and I can hear him. Batman? Like,
well, I didn't mean to sum it up a really funny comedy bit, but I did, so there we go.
Like, being in the theater is fuck a popcorn. I mean, we had some, and that was awesome. I had some peanut M&Ms, too. That's a good combination if you ever want to try that. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to Ohio and ranch dressing.
Oh, that was a good bit of filmmaking.
It was just quiet. It wasn't the kind of joke that was like too on the nose. They let it breathe, and then they were like, ka-chow.
But yes, the trailers. This is the first time we've seen trailers in a long time.
I feel like we used to talk about them.
Oh, maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I'll tell you this much. I kind of stopped watching trailers because I don't give a shit about spoilers anymore. It's not that. It's that genuinely watching more than like 2 trailers for a thing will absolutely make me want to watch the thing less. I will be tired of that concept.
I need you guys to understand that the information I had going into this movie was that Taskmaster wasn't very Taskmaster-y.
And Sheriff Town Name was in it.
Well, no, I mean, like, you know, the cast and the basic premise that Black Widow is getting the gang back together. And by the first appearance of Taskmaster, I went, oh.
Yeah.
This is a power I sometimes have. I'm not in control of when it works and when it doesn't. But the last time I watched a trailer very actively, like was regularly watching trailers, was Doctor Strange.
And you did that.
And I did that. I don't want that. I want to watch the fucking movie. So I don't want you to show me the end of the movie in the trailer.
Neither of us tend to watch trailers. Movie theaters being the exception because it's part of the experience.
Sure.
And I just want to pour one out for my poor homie Snake Eyes. One, because I'm pretty sure he's getting a bad origin movie.
It looked about as good as Mortal Kombat.
No, it did not. It looked markedly worse than Mortal Kombat.
You and I remember a different Mortal Kombat.
You and I remember Mortal Kombat very differently.
Round ass headed ring.
But not only that, but because his trailer was immediately followed by the trailer for fucking Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and absolutely blew it out of the fucking water.
It was like the theater did Hey, does this movie look cool? Oh yeah, I think that movie does look cool. Here's something that's 10 times fucking better.
And pretty similar. Would you like to watch that instead? Well, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to watch that obviously superior in every way version. Rude movie. At least put like a comedy trailer in the middle.
Yeah, break it up or something.
There were trailers for other things. Put one
There
of
was
them in there.
the King Man.
Yeah, the King Man.
That's a franchise people like.
Never seen one of them movies.
Me either. I gather they set a dog on fire at one point?
Sure.
As a test to see how kingy you are. Or manny.
There's one really cool sequence where a man beats up a whole church of assholes to Freebird. I've seen that. And I've seen the millions of things in pop culture that parody it. And that's what I know about King Man.
I'm really surprised you haven't watched King Man, because it's basically fancy crime fighters, and then they're like, "Oi, gov spot of tea," and that's like your thing.
Yeah.
Is it not blue enough?
Honestly, it's that I don't have much nostalgia for James Bond movies, and the other part of it is a delightful, loving send-up of James Bond movies, and I don't care about that. So, like, I've watched the parts I care about.
Can we bring back Timothy Dalton yet?
But I've watched the bits that the scene where he beats up a church, the scene where he says,
I thought you were going to say churro. You already said it once, and my brain was... Finish that sentence with churro. He's going to beat up a churro. What an interesting scene.
the scene where he like says manners maketh man and then beats up a bunch of thugs. That's good shit. I'm not going to say it's not good shit. I don't know. Just never it didn't seem to be worth my time. But put it in between the two.
Yeah. So that you might forget that there was already a ninja movie.
And then you might think it was just... Honestly, if you were paying less attention, you might have ended up thinking that was just one really long trailer for a ninja movie.
If you were like, oh shit, I forgot to get a candy bar, and you went out there and there was no one in line, and the exchange happened quickly, your card was read the first time, and you were like, oh, thank you for the candy bar, and you came back, you'd be like, oh, this trailer's still going, huh?
Well, we got way cooler, alright.
Yeah, there's magic, and oh man. Jungle Cruise.
That looks like they really want to make Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm hoping that the editing on that trailer was bad, because if not, that main character lady looks really insufferable. But I feel like it was the editing. Because
that felt very much like trailer editing.
That was some weird editing anyway. It made The Rock feel uncharismatic.
This feels like they're trying to make Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I'm alright with that, man. Give me River Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not even Pirates of the Caribbean always succeeds at being Pirates of the Caribbean.
Shit, that's true.
I'm worried for Jungle Cruise.
You know what? Just Jungle Cruise 2, bring back Barbossa.
This takes place in like the 1950s.
I don't give a shit. He's immortal.
Why am I arguing against more Barbossa? What?
Yeah, The Rock is like, we gotta save the day. We gotta get out there and we gotta lay the smacketh down on these 1930s jabronis. And the main character woman is like, how are you gonna do that, The Rock? And with a little help from my friend, are you now? And he's got an apple.
He hasn't changed clothes.
Same. He's got a river captain hat.
Oh!
Fund it.
Oh. I wish there was more to fucking say about
Was there another trailer?
Blackwood. Maybe. Was there? Do you remember?
Was there like a spooky time one? No, Suicide Squad. With the butthole.
That's okay. We could spend the rest of this time talking about Suicide Squad.
I want to see it. Oh, fuck. That's it.
There we go. But no, it looks really good. That they showed a little bit more of it than I saw the last time I saw something for Suicide Squad, because I only watched the teaser. Because again, watching too much of something before it comes out makes me not want to watch that thing. But I think I'm gonna like, even if I don't end up liking Suicide Squad that much, which, let's be clear, I do not think is risky. I think I will like that a lot. I'm gonna like that Peacemaker series.
I think of the two podcasts we recorded today, the lesson is John Cena.
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.